obviously you're really, really busy with different bands and different projects, but your attention is back on the Dead Daisies now, and you've just completed a tour across North America, Resurrected tour. That's gone fantastically well. Some really fun videos on YouTube that I've been watching. You guys look like you had an absolute blast. John Corabi's back in the band, but you're coming over to Europe. You're hitting the skies. You're crossing across most of mainland Europe. We're talking Italy, and there's plenty of dates in Germany and the Netherlands, and then Scandinavia and loads of places, France and all that sort of stuff as well. So are you looking forward to coming to Europe? Because Europe loves its rock, doesn't it?
Of course, Europe is, it's very important to, for our kind of music, heavy classic rock, 70s, 80s based rock. We, we love to be able to visit Europe. It's because it's such a a lot of different cultures. So it's like just in a 4-hour drive, you're going to a place where it's a new language and totally different, scene happening. And it's really exciting. And the people, the fans and friends are very dedicated, as they should be, because, we're all trying to be keeping our music alive. Not just those of us who play it, but those, like, for me as a fan of music, that it's still every day I listen to it. My bands, something new I might find, whatever, but I need it, and I need to, if it wasn't for me getting the chance to go play live, I would definitely probably be going out to watch more live, because there's a great energy about live music, whether you're playing it or listening to it.
Yeah.
And this lineup is my favorite Dead Daisies lineup. We've had some great lineups, and I mean, even prior to me, there was some amazing lineups. But having John Corabi come back, he's just a straight up, no bullshit rock and roll killer. I mean, he's dead funny. I mean, he's really an amazing person, because he's so talented, but he's very down to earth, very, very down to earth. And super talented songwriter, guitarist, but he's an amazing singer and a great frontman. And then we've got our new secret weapon, which is Michael Devin, who is best known for his time with Whitesnake. And kind of like after I had split, took over. It was David's kind of, eyes and ears, right-hand man. David loved Michael. And he, as things all do, change happens. And Michael was doing the Guess Who for a while, and we decided let's ask Michael if he wants to join the Dead Daisies, and he did it. And this lineup is just smoking, not because of me, but because of basically because of the energy that Corabi and Devin brought in. Devin and Tishy together, have Tishy on drums, those guys have done thousands of gigs together, and they just are locked. It's next level from anything that I've ever played with. Tishy and Devin together is there's nothing that's better than that I've ever played with. And then, Corabi's amazing, and me and David are doing, he's got the Australian Aussie rock, almost punk rock style. I've got my thing going on, and we're having a great time. And the show is exciting. We got a whole new set list that's, as you mentioned, kind of a compilation of the best of album that we just released last month.
It's very cool. And we mentioned what can we expect from the shows, and you mentioned the tour and everything. Best place for people to go is the deaddaisies.com. All the information's on there. You can get your tickets on there. You can see the dates and everything all the way across Europe. So best place is the deaddaisies.com. And we've got to mention the best of album as well. It's a fantastic record. I mean, there's 20 songs on there, 18 songs from the 6 records that have already been released. There's a couple of unreleased tracks on there as well. So talk to us about those.
Those were extras from the last record we did with Glenn Hughes that were from the Radiance album. And initially we were talking about doing kind of a concept album back during the lockdown times. We had written a bunch of stuff, and it was, it was pretty deep, very cinematic. And then when we got back on the road and decided to just do a straight up rock record, we ended up with Radiance. but we had some of those other ideas left over, and we wanted those to be on the best of. So just as a teaser, something that, you know, they were songs that that were really, really kind of went pretty deep. You know, like this one song, "The Healer," is maybe the heaviest, darkest riff we've ever played, and "Let It Set You Free." Although we had a song called "Set It Free" on "Set You Free" on the Burn It Down album. This is "Let It Set You Free," and it's a beautiful, simple ballad. You know, that's it's really nice song. But the other songs you mentioned, there's a couple of songs that you know, from each album, including one of the very first EP or album, a song called "Miles in Front of Me." And we do an updated version of that live, which is really exciting. And basically that's kind of the template for the live show, but we're adding and subtracting songs periodically. And the whole thing about the show is the people that are there are having a blast. There's even people that have seen the band 3 or 4 or 5 times have come up to me after this tour and said, "Man, that was the best show you guys have ever done." And I agree. I mean, it just feels different. You know, it feels like, especially because of Michael and John, it's like next level.
Yeah, absolutely. And if anybody wants to check out, then like I said, go on YouTube and look for the Dead Daisies on there, because there's some tour diaries and things. You can see the fans' own responses, and they're all having an absolute blast. You definitely can tell that. But
there's always some goofiness. You know, it's like it gets to the point where we're walking around. We have a photographer that's with us that does that stuff. We don't actually do the social media. We don't even know half the time what's gonna be used or not. So you get used to having a camera on you. You just start whenever you see it, you start goofing, you know, goofing off and making jokes and screwing around. And that's inevitably the stuff that gets on there. So it's pretty interesting for people to watch it. It might be embarrassing for us a little bit, though.
Makes it better for us. But just in terms of the best of, then, I like to try and push people to buy the physical copies, because it's so much better for the bands these days. And I've got to say, the vinyl version of this best of is incredible. I mean, the visuals of it, there's a 16-page booklet on it. There's stickers, there's posters, there's everything in there. But the actual vinyl itself, it's kind of red spattered. It looks like blood spattered. It's a really visually brilliantly striking looking record. So if anyone can and is able to, definitely get hold of the vinyl copy of this record.
I heard it was real blood. They put it in the vinyl and they stirred it in, or they made the vinyl and somebody got cut and splattered it. Something.
There you go.
You believe me?
Of course, always. No, it is. It's fantastic. And as I said before, check out the daisies.com, because that's the best way to keep in touch with everything that's going on with the band. And you can see the tour dates, you can get the album, you can see the news and everything else. All the updates are on there, aren't they?
Yeah. And of course, you know, every social, there's the Dead Daisies social. So there's always stuff on Instagram, and especially on Facebook. The band has got a good following on Facebook. So there's a lot of stuff that's on Facebook that's not on Instagram. So check them all out.